She is the only Miss Dominica to have participated in Miss Universe. Stay tuned if you want to find out exactly how that happened. I am Kamala Aaron, Miss Dominica 1998, and I am talking to Margaret-Rose Cools-Lartigue, Miss Dominica 1985, crown to crown. Only people from the winner's circle. Margaret-Rose Cools-Lartigue, welcome to Crown to Crown.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Kamala. So good to meet you. And congratulations, Queen.
Yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you
Crown
so
to
much for
crown.
having me on this podcast. It's my first podcast ever.
That is shocking.
It is, yeah. I do my own lives every week, but this is the first podcast I've been invited to, really. Yes.
What do you do lives on? What do you do lives about?
Oh, I do Bible study. It's called the Word of Knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And because in 2015 I was ordained a minister of the gospel.
Really?
Yeah, it's quite a testimony. So currently now I'm teaching the book of Revelation every Thursday night live, and I also have a YouTube channel, Inner Out Ministries. Everything is saved on the channel, and my website www.inneroutministries.com. So people can go and check it out. So it's quite a testimony from a
Wow.
crown to a white collar.
I know. I
Crown
know.
to a white collar. So there you
I
go.
feel like that's a whole new podcast. That's another podcast.
You know what? I was thinking about that. It's funny that you would say that, because my testimony and journey is something else.
No, we should talk about that. We should talk
Yes.
about that and how, I am very, very curious to understand how that journey happened and how that transition took place. So I will keep in touch with you on that.
Okay.
One of the things I love about you is that you're so social savvy. Like, we've been communicating quite a bit via Facebook Messenger and email. You're up to date.
Oh yeah.
So I cannot tell you how excited, how honored I am, how privileged I am to be talking to you. Like I said, crown to crown, only people from the winner's circle we're having in this particular conversation that I'm calling crown to crown. And it is in an effort to get people to understand, take people behind the curtains, take people behind the scenes. What happened? How did this happen? How did you sign up for Miss Dominica? How did you win? How did you make that happen? And I don't know if you know this. We've talked a bit, but I want you to know, and I want people of Dominica should know. They probably know, but I'm going to say this. You are a legendary Miss Dominica. You are one of the Miss Dominica winners that has created a huge impact in this beauty pageant space for Dominica. When people are talking about Miss Dominicas, who are the Miss Dominicas that you know? Who are the Miss Dominicas who have been, so amazing, impactful, that everyone knows who they are? Margaret-Rose Cools-Lartigue name is always in the conversation. Always in the conversation. And so talking to you to find out how the heck did you do that is amazing for me. Okay? Amazing for me. And I want to find out everything. So let me start by one, underscoring that you were Miss Dominica in 1985. I want to understand what made you sign up to be Miss Dominica. Why did
Wow.
you decide you wanted to be in the competition?
Well, let's go back to my birth. I was born on a carnival Saturday,
Okay.
February 22nd, 1964.
Okay.
So there you go. That alone, I love carnival.
You're a carnival
Love
baby.
carnival. And as a little girl, I loved to watch the carnival queen show and just, just look at the beauty of the girls going up back in the day. I used to be so excited to walk around Roseau. That's where we come from. I don't know how wide your audience is, but we come from the island of Dominica.
Yes.
And back in the day, as a little girl, they would take these beautiful pictures and put them up on different stores. Like the big stores, like
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
Astafans, maybe at the
Yes.
bank, maybe at
Mhm.
Bata shoe store,
Yes.
wherever it
Yes.
was, and I would
At
just marvel.
Valentine's.
Yes, you know what? I love to see a beautiful woman. And in those days, I don't know what they ate, what they drank, but these girls were beautiful.
So true.
So, I remember, so I will bring up something else about the girls in the past on another note. But,
Yes.
I mean, I can maybe just mention their names right now.
Mhm.
Queens like the older queens like Anthea Mondesi,
Mhm.
Mary-Louise Rock. There was
Yes.
Evadne Charles. I believe Evadne Charles, I was a little, maybe just about 6 or 7, maybe a little girl. But also the contestants, Thora Jackson, beautiful, and their shapes and everything. So in those days, there was no talent. It was just pure beauty,
Yes.
poise, and grace. And to add to that, I was always full of life. That's the personality I was born with. And I want to bring up Jeremiah as a minister, the minister side of me. 1 and 5
Mhm.
says, Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you and ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. So why I'm bringing that up is because God already knew my path. And they always say it's the black sheep that he changes, to
Mhm.
lead. Those the words, because I was full of life. As a young girl, I was always on the dance floor first. And people that know me as a little girl or know Margaret-Rose around my age group, I believe I'm older. I'm about 10 years older than you, I believe.
Right.
And just always full of life. I was part of PAT, People's
Mhm.
Action Theater. I did all their workshops. Whatever workshops they had, I would act, I would dance, I wasn't a professional dancer, but I can do all
Right.
those. I could do all those things within the arts. I
Okay.
remember at convent. I went to convent high school. I would always be in plays.
Mhm.
Um, but with PAT, definitely, I actually was in a play with Pan Man. You know Pan Man,
Mm.
right? Pan
Of course,
Man.
Van Bellet.
Yes. Dorothy Henderson, Noreen Joseph, and I
Mm.
cannot remember if it was Nightbox, but it was based in a yard, in a backyard. Lennox, Rock, I believe he's in Boston now, and I traveled with them actually to St. Lucia and Barbados, maybe Antigua. I'm trying. You're bringing me back 40 years, okay? And some, and then some. So I was always in the arts and did workshops and everything. I came from an artistic family.
Mhm.
Um, Uncle Alwyn, I call him Alwyn Woolley, is my cousin, very
Mm.
close cousin. My father's
Okay.
first, his mother is my grand aunt.
Okay.
I had musicians on both sides of the family, artists. My brother Brian, so I was in that type of arena. Always I'm outgoing, as you say, very outgoing. And I remember, I was trying to remember the ladies that approached me to go to a pageant in St. Kitts. I was 13 years old. It was a junior queen show. From the age group was 13 to 16. And so
Mhm.
I went. Most of the girls were 16 years, and I won the competition. But
You won.
I won the competition. I cannot remember the name of the competition. I tried to remember the name, and I tried to remember the name of the young lady that recruited me.
Mhm.
And also I just remembered that I used to model. We used
Mhm.
to model, we used to do these fashion shows at Cicero and at the
Okay.
Arawak Cinema with Jilly. Jilly Frampton. Well, she's now Shillingford. I
Mhm.
remember Cece Bedminster was one of the models. I believe Diane Francis modeled with us. And it was a group of us that modeled. Our shows would always be sold out.
Wow.
So I came from that background. And
Mhm.
um, I had gone to do a first degree, well, like a certification associate's degree in Barbados
Mhm.
right after I left high school, about a year after. It was 83, 84. But the degree that I did, or the certification, was hotel management and institutional operations. So we were not at the actual uh, Barbados Community College campus. We were
Okay.
down on the coast at Marine Gardens where they had all the hospitality courses. So we were sort of separate. And they
Right.
were having a show, and a queen show, or whatever you call it, a beauty queen show or something, and they had
Yes.
talent. And nobody, we had to represent the Marine Gardens hospitality, and everybody just looked at everybody, who is going to go. So I said, okay, I'll go, no problem. So I went. My two friends, Mary and Maglan from Anguilla, I went. They put together a dance, and I practiced the dance and everything. That was in 1984, right before I graduated and came home. And then at the show, guess what? I forgot the dance. Halfway through the dance, I just blanked out, and I ran off the stage, and I was like last kakarat. But in those days, I was so young and wild and free. I didn't
Yeah.
care about that. I
You
didn't
did
worry
not.
about those things, you know.
Yeah.
My friends were my friends, and they didn't. Life just continued, and then I came home in 1980, at the end of 1984,
Mhm.
and there was the I have always sort of wanted to go to be part of the Queen Show. So I don't know if they approached me, or if, because they were finalizing everything, and I maybe
Mhm.
asked somebody if, I don't know, if they were still taking girls. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was yes. So I went into a meeting they had, the last meeting. When I walked into that meeting, it was at the, where the grammar school is? There was
Yes.
a
On
big
Harvard Road.
playground in front there. I believe they built like a big union hall. Was it a upstairs and downstairs structure?
Oh, the PSU where the Civil Service Union is,
Something
probably.
like that. Yes. So they were having a meeting down there. So I walked in there, and the lady, in those days, this lady would go to shop for all the material. I don't know if that happened in your day.
No.
So the lady, she was there, and she was about to get the colors of dresses and everything. So she asked, "What color is your dress? And what you want to be addressed?" So I said, I, I looked up in the ceiling, and there was a piece of decoration left from Christmas, a green piece of decoration. I said, "Look, green, that color." And green is my favorite color. And that is how I chose my color.
Oh,
And then
wow.
for the costumes, everybody had already chosen their costumes. There was one costume left by Alwyn Booley, because he designed two costumes that year. Nobody wanted the costume. I didn't have a choice but to take the costume.
Oh, wait,
No
what
problem.
costume was that nobody wanted? What did it look like?
The costume that I had, the red costume, it was like, it would fit in right now. It was a
Yes,
futuristic
it's true, it's
costume.
true.
Yeah, it was a Saturn, like a planet of fire, a fire
Mhm,
planet. And at the back, he had what you call them, an avatar, or like a robot,
mhm.
like a transformer, he called it.
Okay.
So when I spun the costume around towards, for them people to see the back, I had to pull a string, and this robot came up, like looking like a man, like a transformer kind of a thing.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
it was all red, just red.
Yeah, it was.
Everything was red. So that is how I ended up being in the competition. I don't know if you want me to go ahead,
N
or
no,
if you have a
so
question.
yes, so you were a carnival baby. You have been so outgoing. You decided you saw all of these people wanting to be in Miss Dominica, so you signed up. And so when you signed up, from the information that you provided, you only had 6 weeks to prepare. Now, for
Yep.
people who don't know, if we contrast that to now, for example, where the Miss Dominica contestants are launched in at the end of October during Independence, that gives them at least maybe 12 weeks to prepare. Some of them would have been preparing before they are even launched. So 6 weeks is no time at all.
No
How
time.
how did how did you, wrap your head around that? Like, I have 6 weeks, but heck, I'm going in. Tell me about that.
Well, as I said, that is destiny. It just had to happen. And then that's something I wanted to do. And I believe coming out of the Queen, whatever show they had in Barbados, and I failed. And I
Yes.
know that I'm a stage person. I've acted on the show. Oh, I also acted in a play called Sun, Moon, and Pretty Girl. It was directed by Ken Gardner. He's a Dominican, a British, Dominican British person,
Mhm.
lives in England from
Right.
Dominica. He's written a cookbook and a couple of cookbooks, and I believe he acted as well. So he had come down and he did this play, Sun, Moon, and the Pretty Girl. I acted with Daryl Tulo and Arnold Tulo and other people. So I was used to the stage, and for that to happen to me, so I really don't know. It was a drive, a pull, and some people were not happy about it because it's like, why are you putting yourself in that? And but I wanted to, and guess what? From the time I decided, my family rallied around me. My brother Brian was alive. My mommy told me not to cry.
No, no, no. I want you to feel whatever you feel. And, for people who may not know, your brother, Brian, who's known as Extra Deadly, was
He
a,
passed a
a
year
real
after.
burgeoning- yes, a real burgeoning artist in Dominica, like, for his reggae songs and the like, really coming
Yeah.
up as a star.
Yeah, he was a beautiful person. He was an artist. He painted as well. But to everybody rallied around me, my mother designed and made my evening gown, and that green material that this lady, I don't know if she's still with us, but she chose the most perfect, beautiful, sequined, the real
Shimmering.
color I wanted. Um, from that Christmas decoration, green dress, and my mother added stuff. And yes, by the way, mommy made evening gowns for the Queen contestants throughout the years, going all the way back to Evadne Charles, and all the way back, I believe, in the 60s, 70s. And she
Oh,
also made Marcella Larroque's dress. I don't know the recent ones, whoever else she made. She made princess dresses, she made wedding dresses, everything. So she's a very, very good seamstress. Still is.
right.
Okay. She's
Oh,
83 now, but she still does the best. Go ahead.
so she was a seamstress, when you decided to do the Miss Dominica. That was, to me, that's part of, your toolkit. Like, you
Yes.
have someone someone
Yes.
in there who is
Yeah.
part of that, that era, who could really help you in that.
Yes. So she made my evening, designed and made my evening gown. She did many other contestants. I can't remember who else right now, but she certainly did. And Brian,
Mhm.
Brian did my talent. It's like, what talent am I going to do? You know what I mean? And the talent was so unique
Yes.
because in those days, um reggae dub had just
Yes.
come out. It was something, it's like how they have the bouillon now that has
Yes. Yes.
just come out. In
Yes.
those days, reggae dub had just come out. That those days
Right.
with scientific roles and stuff. Oh boy, I
Right.
remember those
Right.
days. Scientific roles. He was very close. He used to DJ with scientific roles. He would
Ah.
also go around with he was with Jeff and Gramax as well.
Mm.
He could drum, he could sing, he wrote songs, he wrote at least six songs. Actually, he and Arnold Tulo as well. I believe Extra was one and Deadly was one. Both of them were Extra Deadly. You know Arnold Tulo, right? The
Mhm,
artist.
mhm.
He lives in
Yes,
St. Lucia. Okay.
yes.
So Brian wrote My Talent, the song, and he got everything, the dub. And the song was I can't I have a CD of the whole Queen show, and I was trying to pull the lyrics off, but
Yeah.
it seems that I'm in transition of moving, so it seems I packed it away, and I was so upset. But I remember that one. Man see me, I woman no easy, man see me. Da 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 da. I was born and raised in a Roseau City, man see me. You know, but
Oh
it
my
was such
god.
but it was on point, and the
I
music
know.
was on point, and the lyrics I had to do with the history of Dominica,
Right.
Roseau, and it was like poetic, but music. And then guess what? Oh, here the outfit. My mother made the jacket because my mother was with the she was with the Dominica Tourist Board. She was the
Uh-huh.
whatever. And she was the top of what do they call them again? The people that run it.
What,
Okay,
like
she was running the tourist board then.
okay, like, so,
Okay,
like, the executive officer or something?
exactly. And she
Okay.
would travel to all these European countries, so she had a jacket. We don't know
Mhm.
about jackets in Dominica, so she had a
I know.
jacket. So she got a Dominica flag, a huge flag, and she put it at the back of the jacket, and she added some stuff at the back, and the
Mhm.
collar and stuff to make it Dominica colors.
Right.
Okay, I got in those days, Gramax, right?
Of
Was
course.
it Mackie from St. Joe? Mackie
Yes.
had long, 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 long locks. He cut his locks. I got Mackie because of the connection with Brian and Gramax. I knew all the Gramax fellas.
Okay.
Mackie gave me his locks because he kept his locks. I wrapped my head and I pinned the locks with safety pins on the
Right.
piece of cloth. And then Kelly, I don't know if Kelly still with us. Kelly used to fix these shoes
Yes.
in Fields Lane.
Yes.
Kelly was
Yes.
a Kelly was a Calypsonian.
A ghost.
Maybe it's Ghost. Yes, I know him as Kelly. He used to make all
Yeah.
these leather sandals. That was
Yes.
my partner. So I went by Kelly. Kelly had a nice top hat. Kelly lent me his top hat. And I put on I had his top hat. And then I had tights. And then my mother had these long boots for winter. And I wore these long boots. And that was it. And when I came out, the crowd was wild because they didn't
Oh my.
expect that. The
Yes.
talent was original. It was an original talent. Even if there were great other talents, like the young lady that won, they got the first runner-up. I believe she was a dancer. Is it
Mhm.
Kubuli dancers?
Okay. Yes.
She was
White
with the
Coat.
dance troupe, so she was a dancer.
Mhm.
But what I believe pulled me, to actually get the crown, because I believe we were pretty close, maybe about 2 or 3 points different, was the originality of the
Of the sound.
of the talent, the
Yes. Yes.
originality of no the talent. Because
Mhm.
and then maybe I want to bring that in here. What people don't realize is that when you have a set of judges, I believe I judge once or twice. So you have a category, you have talent, you have um what you call it, costume, you have evening
Yes.
wear, you have question, or if you have on
Mhm.
swimsuit. So it's
Mhm.
you don't just judge on that. There are sub categories.
Yes.
You check how
Yes.
you
Yeah.
move in it, the
Mhm.
impact,
Yes.
originality,
Originality.
or you
Yes.
walk. You see, so that's what people don't understand. So I
Yes.
believe that is where I got the leverage, to actually push me into the winner's circle.
Mhm.
And I remember after um a judge came up to me. I didn't know who the judges were, but a D4 man. You remember
Mhm.
I think he passed. He was dark, nice dark brown skin, and he had a front bald head and used to
Okay.
wear glasses.
Okay. Not
I
sure.
think he worked with DBS, but he came up to me and told me what really got the judges was the fact that every single time I came out, I was a whole different persona.
Mm.
from the fiery planet to the, then I was a Rasta in the
Yes.
talent. And then the evening gong, I look like a mermaid.
Mhm.
And then I guess the what you call it, the question and answer was shocked me as well because I didn't even expect to say that. I remember what I said. But yes, so the whole family rallied around me, with my mother, my brother that year. He and Arnold Tulo painted the backdrop at Carnival City, the
Wow.
whole mural.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right. Yes, normally, so in those days, that was the case for me as well. The Carnival City would have a huge mural in the back, which was painted, and then they would open up the doors.
But there you go. So he actually painted, and I still have the pants that he wore to paint it. I kept
Mm,
that for myself. I still have it 40 something years. I just keep it as a
wow,
treasure. Yeah. And
wow.
then we were very close because we were just 1 year apart.
I see, I
And then
see.
I have to mention Jilly. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Jilly was excellent. Well, we did the modeling together. So I was used to walking. So I learned how to walk,
Right.
with Jilly. Jilly's the best. And how to make up. I had to
Yes.
learn all of that because when I went to Miss Universe, we'll talk about that. But
Yes.
Chili was my chaperone with the Carnival Queen and my chaperone for Miss Universe. So the walk-in was excellent. I learned the walk-in. So it was natural to me.
Did
I
you?
was only scared about the talent.
Uh-huh. You were scared about the talent, but when you came out and you performed it, you knocked it out of the
Out the park.
ballpark. Was that the point when you thought you won? Or tell me when you knew, I think I won this crown.
No, I never knew that.
You never knew that.
I never knew that. I just went and I performed. Everybody performed.
Wow.
Everybody performed. I never knew that they were all beautiful girls, I believe.
Yes.
And then had the worst costume. Miriam, I believe, was the first runner-up. She got best costume.
Mhm.
Oh, her costume was beautiful, like a gold and white bird. I have a photo, but I didn't have it on hand to send you. Beautiful costume. Actually, I took her costume to Antigua because she had the best costume.
Mm.
I took it
Yes.
to Antigua, and let me tell you something. That was so difficult. You see, people don't know the background. Let me tell you, you see how Antigua flat and this wind in Antigua? And I had
Yes.
this costume that had two wings, wind. I had to hold down that costume and still smile and move on
I
that
still
stage, or
dance.
else it would have fallen down with me. That
Yes.
was
Yes.
stressful.
That's in the Miss JC's. What I heard about that.
Caribbean Queen Show. It
Correct.
was Caribbean Queen Show.
It was Caribbean Queen Show at the time. But the stage in Antigua
Antigua?
Recreation Grounds, it's wide open. It's
Yeah.
more of an open stage than in Dominica. So
Oh,
it's a
yes. Oh, my.
very shocking if
Let me
you
tell you, that was scary.
yes, yes, yes. It's a
That
very open
was
stage.
scary for me. And I took the green dress, of course, the green dress, my mother's dress. That was it. The green
Yes.
dress. And then
So
my
I'm
talent, of course. Sorry.
I am very it's very interesting to me that you're saying you did not know, like, in your mind when you won the competition. So like for me, I knew at a certain point when I had won, so on stage when they've called all the contestants, third runner up, second runner up, first runner up, I looked around to the left, I looked around to the right, I'm like, wait, damn, I think I won the show. You know what I mean? So and because
Yeah.
all of the girls who were, the biggest competition had been called already. So when I stood up there and I turned to the left and then I turned to the right and I saw who was left, I knew I had won. So it was very
No, no, no.
interesting to me
I'll tell
that
you,
you did not know.
I'll tell you why. In those days, they didn't. No, we were all on. I believe it's just five of us. That was a year where hardly, there was some times when it was difficult to get girls to go up for queen.
Even in 1985.
I am telling you, I believe it's just five of us.
Mm.
They were scrunting for girls. I'm telling you, there was a time they went to the bank and it was a whole bunch of bank girls. I
Yeah.
believe they went before me, and that's what encouraged me to go. Because let me tell you, growing up in front Dominicans not easy, you know. Well,
Kupali po din
Caribbean people on the whole, very
You don't
critical.
you
That's our
don't have to
culture.
tell me that. No, you don't have
Exactly.
to tell me that at all.
And they would
Trust me.
laugh at you and send a bottle behind you in a 1 minute. Okay? So you had to be on point.
So
So,
tell me so tell me about that feeling. So you did not, in advance in your head on the stage, you did not know that you were going to win. So when they called your name as the winner, what was that feeling like?
well, okay, let's go back. So first of all, I believe Beverly Thomas got third place. This other girl got second place. I believe she had the best dress, you know. I can't remember her name. I can just see her face.
Right.
When Miriam got first place, that's how knew possible I could, well, no, that's how I knew I had won. When
Right.
they called Miriam, because I
Yeah.
believe Miriam and myself were neck to neck.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Miriam
Yeah.
and myself were neck to neck. She was beautiful. She's a tall girl. I remember her very tall and graceful. She was an excellent dancer, and her costume
Mhm.
was, well, the best costume. It
Right.
was amazing. But I just went and did what I had to do. And backstage, you don't have time. I don't have time to check who's doing what. I didn't know what
No,
their
you don't.
talents were because I
You
was
don't.
busy trying in 6 weeks. I was
Yes.
trying to figure out how I'm going to know all these words and memorize these words and practice with swinging stars. So that was exciting. Practicing with swinging stars, going to the band house in Fokole, helping the guy. I can't remember who he is, and if you're watching, if you're still with us, it was fun times helping him stick stuff all midnight. You still sticking stuff and trying to you know do what you have to do to win. Everybody comes to win,
Everybody
and
comes.
everybody has their own set of people that are rooting for them. So I
Absolutely.
didn't have time to do it. To worry about who was doing what and who was better than me or not. To me, they were all beautiful and talented.
Mhm.
And then even at backstage, I believe Jilly did my makeup, but
Mhm.
my aunt is a hairdresser, Anna Green, and she
Okay.
was doing one or two of the other girls here. Auntie Anna didn't even have time to do my hair for the evening. I had just roller set my hair, and you see, that's my natural hair. I
Yeah.
roller set
Yeah.
it. No,
Yes.
no, it's not. It's curly, but when I roller set it, it comes like that. I
I
just
see.
took my hair and passed in my thing and took a hairpin. I couldn't find a brush, and I went out on the stage with my green dress. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
But I still want to know, how
Mhm.
did it feel when they put the crown on your head? You had wanted to do this. This was
Girl,
like almost like a redemption for you after
from,
that
from
faux
running up
pas in Barbados.
from Las Cacaras.
Okay. It was like a redemption for you. Okay. I had that similar chip on my shoulder. I participated in Miss Teen Dominica. I did not place, and I had that chip on my
Whoa.
shoulder. I did not place. And I was coming into Miss Dominica ready. There was nobody who could stop me. But so I really want to
Yeah.
understand when you were crowned, when that crown came on your
Yeah.
head, like, what did that feel like?
Well, first of all, I have to say I didn't have a chip on my shoulder. My
Okay.
personality, I don't have chips on my shoulder. It's like
Okay.
so maybe for you you had.
I definitely
Maybe
had
you
it.
want to rephrase it. I don't think you had a chip on your shoulder. You just had the same thing that to show and for yourself, because
Yes.
you can do it. I believe it for me, it was, come on, Margaret-Rose, what happened?
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
What happened?
Because you've been on the stage, you've been modeling in Dominica, like on the stage, half naked, almost naked, and doing all my stuff. And you come there and you run off a stage. So, but so it was that combined with a lot of other things. It was like at the right time. And we go back to the Bible. It was just the right time.
Mhm.
Everything is timing in life. That was the right time for me,
Mhm.
and when I won, of course you won. Oh, everybody was crazy. All my family and remember I was a convent girl, so all the
Yes.
convent
Yes.
people and people, I was in the arts. I was well known because I was in the arts.
Yes.
So people were all excited who rush up to the front, and it was a big celebration. And trust me, can I tell you something? I was
Tell me.
just tired. I was tired.
I
I
know.
was
I know.
exhausted.
It
I don't
is.
know about you,
No,
but I
I
was
mean,
exhausted.
yes. Yes, yes. I know exactly what you mean. When I won Miss Dominica, I wanted to go home really badly. So I went home to my aunt's house and just slept. I didn't go to Bath Estate where I was from because I did not. I thought people were going to come over there and stay up all night and talk about the show,
They
and I
most
was
likely would have.
tired.
Trust
I
me.
was so tired that I wanted to sleep. So I went to my aunt's house in Goodwill, and
Mhm.
that's where I slept that night because I needed sleep so
Well,
badly.
yeah, well, it's full of life. So, well, it was great. I mean, you're overwhelmed.
Yes,
Overwhelmed that you won. Um, but just tired. Do you know that smiling on that stage?
I
Oh
know.
my word! You have to put that when you just go out, you smile. But by the time
Yes,
you go from one side to the other side, you're all there was trembling, and you're hearing smile, smile, and it's like, my God, please, I need to. And so it's a lot of pressure
yes,
actually,
yes,
on that stage. It's a lot of pressure. Although I enjoyed it, but it's still a lot of pressure because it's a competition,
yes,
And
yes.
then, so when I was done, um, Coconut Products was my sponsor, and
Okay.
they had this big party. By the time we lived at Fortney, by the time I reached home, big party, people, 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 music, people, people. I was just tired. It was a blur. I was just tired,
It's tired,
but
you know.
people were partying, people were celebrating me and the winning, and then Coconut Products were celebrating that their person won, that sort of
Yes,
thing. It was
of
a big
course.
thing between the sponsors and stuff like that. And then guess what? About
Tell me.
2 days later, I had to take part in the Miss OECS. Oh,
Hmm.
that was brutal
It was.
because it's not like a week after, like a 2 or 3 days after in
Yes,
those days. And
yes.
I had lost my voice and I
Mm,
have to sing that song.
yes, yes, yes.
Honey, all kind of concoctions, garlic and honey. First time I heard that concoction, they gave me garlic and honey to drink.
So how did that turn out for you? What was that experience like? Was it the opposite? Did you not enjoy it? Like, tell me about 2 days later having to be in the Miss OECS.
Okay, so 2 or 3 days, maybe 3 days, about 2 or 3 days, I had to learn a speech because each contestant had to give a speech. Now,
Mm-hmm.
why did these people write one long speech that I had to memorize?
God. Oh,
One long speech that I had to memorize, plus my voice, because with my voice, it was like raspy,
mhm.
and not raspy, but my throat was hurting a little bit. And then I have to do this. And then Lauren Del Sol, this designer seamstress she designs most of the herself, and Mary Green designed most of the
Yes, yes, yes.
Caribbean the Queen Show dresses.
Mhm.
But Lauren Del Sol did my dress from scratch. She decided, so she had to put together that dress. She maybe did the basic, but she had to put it and fit me in about 2 to 3 days. It was a red dress. It was very different. And I believe that took away from, I lost by about a point and a half.
Mhm.
The Miss St. Vincent won that night. But she died in a plane crash some months after. So
Oh, wow.
technically, I most likely have had the title. I
Right.
adopted the title of Miss OECS
Oh,
1985,
right.
and then with the speech, I must have repeated one word after I learned that long thing. One word. They took away points for that for
Yes,
one word
I know,
because
I
I
know.
repeated myself. But the talent was a bombshell. I enjoyed myself because I'm a performer, and people loved it. Antigua, let me tell you, I must have walked. I was on a beach in Antigua, years after I won. And one of the vendors was like, hey, look, wasn't it you that was the queen in Antigua? They
Really?
remembered because of that
Yes,
talent.
that talent, okay.
Anyway, and then
So the Miss OECS, what was your so you participated in the Miss OECS, you got the first runner-up position
first
in Miss
runner up, yes,
OECS.
and I wore swimsuit. Oh my lord! But it wasn't those kind of swimsuits, Papa. Everything. I won't be able to do this. Everything is outside, but I guess that's how people. Everything is outside. I had a full, and in those days I was crazy and wild.
Right.
Much less in those days, I was
I
wild
know, I
and
know, I know.
crazy. I was the
Yes.
first person maybe to have an earring up there in the ear. I was the
Mm.
first person to wear pum pum shorts. I couldn't care less. I was always ask anybody about Margaret-Rose. Just full of life, enjoying herself, partying. I and then what were you just asking me about? Oh, Miss
So
OECS. Yeah, I wore a swimsuit. It was a whole
mhm,
swimsuit. It was a tiger. I have a picture of it you know, in my archives, but I don't have it with me. But a
yes.
beautiful, my figure was something else. Oh my
No,
Lord, I wish
listen,
I had that.
listen,
Oh,
your
again.
figure was figuring.
Honey, they used to call me Dominica J-Lo or Coca-Cola bottle, whatever. And I was slim. I was about 100 and how much pounds ago? I don't know now, but yeah, about 80 pounds ago.
80
Because
pounds ago.
I put on a lot of weight. But I mean, it was beautiful. I think I had my hair slicked back with a flower and I just glided on that stage. And I felt good about it again. And when she won, she won. It's a
Mhm.
competition. I never felt like, she did cheat for me. No, people in the crowd maybe said they cheat. But I mean, for me, I didn't feel that way.
I
I
see.
did not feel that way. It was a competition. She won by about a point and something. And I sort of justified it because the dress, honestly,
Mhm.
I should have worn my green dress, the
Right.
same dress I wore. But that's
Mhm.
what, and Lauren is an excellent designer. Lauren actually made the dress for me to go to Miss Universe, a beautiful yellow dress. I have a photo. I was about to send you the photo, but I forgot. A beautiful yellow dress for Miss Universe. She
Tell
made
me
it.
tell me about how you got to Miss Universe. How did that happen?
Well, I was approached. You see what another thing people don't understand, or the contestants, their committees. There's a
Mhm.
committee that goes and picks the girls and or asks the girls. It's hard. It's not now. Maybe everybody wants to because of social media. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? But in those days, it was not easy to get girls. So you
Right.
have a group of people that go and approach certain girls. Maybe they have a meeting to see who can we get, where can we go to find girls, and they concentrated on Roseau. Now
Mhm.
it's the whole island that we now have the Carib or Kalinago girls going up and all over Portsmouth and Grand Bay and all over the place. Although we had the first Miss World competition was from Grand Bay,
Mm.
the Carnival Queen. She was from Grand Bay. She worked at the bank though. So once you lived in Roseau and you worked at the bank, long ago the bank girls were nice
Every
girls too,
every
at the bank. Remember,
Yeah,
also it's like air hostesses. You would only see a
correct.
certain type of girl as an air hostess. Now, there wasn't you mentioned about I think you mentioned about in our previous conversation before the podcast about color and complexion and
Yes.
high color.
Yes.
But remember, we come out from a melting pot. But from you see, maybe I never had an issue with color.
Mhm.
I never had an issue with color. But you know what? There is an issue with it because before I left Dominica when did I finally leave legally to come up to the
Legally.
US? I hope
Legally.
ICE doesn't come for me. But legally, it was 1996.
Okay.
Okay. And in those days, if they had started this thing, BOFA,
Mhm.
anytime you had a light color, they would call you
Mhm.
BOFA or you came from a so-called prominent family, they started
Yes.
this thing. So, in
Yes.
studying, going to college and stuff, you study different cultures. You study the Indian culture, which is a caste system where
Yes.
they like the lighter color you are in India, the more that you're, honored rather than the darker Indians and stuff.
Mhm.
I believe Dominica had that sort of class caste system.
For sure.
But to me, the Queen Show didn't have color because there were some beautiful dark girls. Look at Thora Jackson. And
Mhm.
Thora was the Jacksons were black, dark, dark, but they had that nice dark, that kind of dark you see coming out straight from Africa, but their
Mhm.
skin smooth. You know that dark. When you talk about a tall, dark, and handsome guy, that's what you're
Yes.
talking about. That
Yes.
nice, black, smooth skin. Okay, so but that's what. But she had a beautiful figure. Anthea Mondesi was dark, very dark brown. Mary's Rock was black, and there were other very dark contestants. So maybe I don't even know who was in the 80s, honestly, because I left the following year and
Mhm.
there was no social media and people sending pictures on cell phones. So I was out of it for quite a few years. I would maybe hear somebody won Julieta Copel. But I can't even remember. There's
Diane
Lorna. I
Francis,
never saw her Queen Show. Lorna. What's her last name again?
Lonely Challenger.
Challenger. Yeah, she's a
Yes.
distant cousin of mine.
Yes.
I don't know
Diane
who.
Francis won right after you.
No, Diane Francis. I crowned Diane Francis.
Correct.
I went
Correct.
to
Yes.
school with Diane,
Mhm.
but I never saw it as to do with color. I never
You did
saw it
not.
like that. I never
Because
saw it. So go ahead.
and I've spoken about it publicly. When
Okay.
I did Miss
Mhm.
Dominica, um, you know, people said that I was too black to be Miss Dominica. Like they literally said
That's
those words.
horrible. That is
And
so
and
horrible.
I am aware. I'm aware. I mean, I am emotionally intelligent. I knew the people who were in the competition alongside me, who the crowd, the audience, the
Mhm.
um they had the energy with them. So for example, we had um Josie and Joseph, who was representing Petit Savan, very light complexion, and
Mhm.
she was almost like the shoe in to win Miss
Mhm.
Dominica. She had all the energy, like the crowd support
Yeah. Yeah.
everywhere we went to.
Yeah.
So there was in that time one a regionalism that there was a preference for contestants who came from a particular part of the country, Petit Savan, Petit Soufriere,
Yeah. They're
um you
light
know
skinned people. Light skin. Yeah.
light skin, there was that for sure.
Mhm.
There was another contestant who was from the Petit Soufriere area, Decima, who was competing against me. So there was definitely that sentiment. And again, people literally said those words about me.
Dominicans again. That's why I tell you, very critical. Very
Yeah.
critical.
So it's very interesting to me that
Mhm.
who fit in that mold, with the Cools-Lartigue name,
There you
um,
go. Mhm.
that you saying you did not feel that, you did not see it that
No.
way.
You know
Wow.
why? You know why, Kamala? Because I'm a
Tell
down
me.
to earth person. I'm a
Right.
down to earth person, and my parents were as well. Although we are considered so called bourgeois, we
Yes.
were not like that. We were down to earth people.
Mm.
And look, being in PAT, I was with everybody. Lennox Linton, I believe, was in PAT too. A whole
Hmm.
bunch of us, and we were like a family. PAT was a family. We were
Right.
like a family. We did all these different workshops, summer workshops. We had people coming in, and then plus I also was doing the modeling, and so people kind of knew me and stuff. But on so kudos to the judges.
Hmm.
Let's get on something here I did not discuss with you, but kudos to the judges, because guess what? It all comes down to the actual competition.
Mm.
So kudos to the judges that they didn't give it to the light-skinned person that everybody wanted. It was all based on performance and competition. Okay, so it was brought to my attention
Uh-huh.
that the first runner-up, Miriam, her name is a different now,
Mhm.
she went on a podcast with a
Mhm.
man called Lakou
Uh-huh.
and said that she was supposed to win and they cheated for her, and
Really?
that Mr. Lakou encouraged the statement saying that she didn't win because my father had a car and she came from apparently Fly City or wherever she came from, which village. I'm
Wow.
telling you, Dominicans are dangerous. Dominicans are dangerous. So here is the whole opposite thing of you saying
Yeah.
that you are the last person you thought you could ever that would win because of your skin complexion, and let's say where you came from, and
Mhm.
you winning the crown. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was not nice at all what she said. It was very, very, very hurtful. Um, and it was brought to the attention of my mother because I don't have time to watch those things. I really don't. I'm into
You're
my word, praying for
yeah.
people, reading the word, preaching, doing what I have to do. I don't have time for this thing, but it was brought to my attention and I listened to the whole section, and it was about me. It was directly attacking me and also the judges and the whole Queen Show thing. Go ahead.
Which I find crazy because I'm telling you, your performance, your reign, it was not. And I was a young girl watching, okay, in 1985,
Uh,
obsessed with the Miss Dominica competition in
mhm.
the 1980s. And there was always this reverence, talking about your performance, how you did. So to say that you did not deserve to win, I have never heard that
I
ever.
never knew that myself. I never, and she said that everybody that came to the park came for her to win. Listen to it, I'm not lying.
Wow.
They wanted her to win, and people were vexed, mad because she didn't win. I know we were close. I know we were close. We were like maybe 2 or 3 points. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But that's what she said, and I just want to tell her straight, Miriam, if you feel that your crown was robbed from you, you can have the crown, baby. The only crown that I need is the crown of righteousness when I go to see my King of Kings and my Lord of Lords in heaven. That's the crown that I want. But if the crown means so much to you, you can have it. We could make it official in the records. I mean, that was very, very hurtful,
Yeah.
but it just shows you, and for the podcaster to actually encourage it, that wasn't nice because he could have steered it in a different direction, but he
Absolutely.
actually encouraged that route, to say that because I was a bourgeois, should just come out and say it. And
Hmm.
that's why I won, but that's not true. you know Everybody performed, and the competition was what the competition was. And oh, talking about competitions, I also went to St. Croix
Hmm.
and I actually won that one.
Wait,
It was
before we talk about your win in St. Croix, I have to
Mhm.
go back to the Miss Universe. So
Okay,
when you went to the Miss Universe, right?
okay.
What what was that like? What was you coming in as Miss Dominica with all of these other contestants who
Okay.
have, you know, many more, I am sure, more
It was quite an
resources,
experience. Quite an
much more
experience.
experience. So tell me about that.
It was quite an experience. First of all, there's a picture going around with me when I came back from the Miss Universe. Let's get the record straight.
Yeah,
Walking on the tarmac, I believe. I don't know who was people walking with me with my sash because it was a
right.
big thing apparently in Dominica when I had gone.
Of
People were
course.
rooting for me and everything. But they have Miss Dominica 1986. So
Mm,
whoever is spreading that around, they need to fix it.
right.
AI can fix it. Take off Miss 86 and it's Miss 85. It's like people
Right.
send it to me. I said, no, I'm not Miss 86. I don't want to see it. Okay, but okay. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Let's
But
get it
but it
straight.
was amazing. So that's how we started off that first question. Alwyn Bully and there was a committee, most likely the cultural department, because they were the big
Mhm.
wigs of the cultural, just like how they have the Dominica Cultural Association. People that push the different things, events in Dominica,
Right.
they were similar to that.
Right.
And they must have approached them, or they maybe got a letter, because they
Mhm.
most likely sent to every single country in the world.
Correct.
And they
Correct.
got a letter and they approached me to tell, or to ask me, not to ask, but to, I believe, ask if I would like to go for the Miss Universe, or to tell me, no, to tell me, but at that point I am Miss Dominica.
You are
I
Miss
become
Dominica.
an ambassador to the island. I was
Mhm.
also an honorary Rotary
Oh,
delegate. Yes.
okay.
And because you represent the island.
Of course.
So yeah, so they asked me to that, or they told me that I will be
Mhm.
going from, or they've chosen me to go to Miss Universe. So that was it. The Jilly Chillingford now was assigned to me as my chaperone, and and they started like preparing me. I had to get a
Training,
whole
yeah.
wardrobe of clothes, and I remember them what's the word? What should I say? Correcting me because I was very wild and I would drink and curse. They said, "Oh, you need to stop it. You need to watch your language. You need da 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 da, whatever."
Right.
Okay, so I had to keep myself quiet and be the
Right.
nice, you know what I mean, whatever. Okay,
Dainty,
so yes, so
right?
exactly.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that Uncle Alwyn, I call him, he's my uncle. So it was like, okay. But anyway, so we went. It was in Miami that
It
year.
was in Miami. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Miami that year, and it was what was scary. I had Jilly was with me, so she was the one making me up, doing my hair, helping me to do this, and just to be like a support.
Mhm.
Guess what? The chaperones could not come to our rooms.
Oh,
Jilly
wow.
was not, no, I guess because of security. In
Mhm.
those days, they had Iran, Miss Iran, and there was issue with,
Mm.
terrorists and stuff, and one or two other countries that, so, um, so we were in this huge fancy high-rise hotel. I think that's where they had the show as well. So I couldn't have my chaperone. So thank God I knew how to make up my own self and I knew how to dress. We had to share with, I shared with Miss Zambia from
Wow.
Africa. She was my
Right.
roommate. And we had to, they brought us, oh, it was just so amazing. We had to, different companies gave us like our swimsuits so
Mhm.
that we could model. It was their swimsuit by so and so. They gave us a like makeup packet, swimsuits, one or two outfits, and stuff. And then we were everywhere we went. We had escorts, like
Yes.
police escorts and stuff.
Mhm.
We had to learn to dance. The opening act, we had to
Mhm.
go to a huge dance studio, and we all had to learn this huge dance. Um, we
I
all
saw your
went
costume was you had your Wobduyek
national costume. Yes, so
national wear.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So with the Miss Universe, every island, every country, sorry, there were 79 girls that year.
Okay. Okay.
79 girls, and you're basically an ambassador to your nation, to your
For
country.
sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
because yeah. So I have that video too. I have it actually on YouTube. The whole show. I found it
Really?
on YouTube, and I saw myself. And
What did you
and
think? What do you think?
I was like, "Oh my Lord, look at how slim I am." Ooh. Oh, that national wear is a pretty national wear. Yeah. So anyway, so so much life has happened, you know what I mean? But you just look
Right.
at it and you smile, and just reminisce a bit. So, and also we all did the interviews. So the night you actually see and it's viewed, I mean, you get millions of views over the whole
Mhm.
globe. So
World,
you're
yeah.
really an ambassador to your country, because in those days Dominica was just a dot on the map.
100%.
Okay, it was just a point. So now they knew there was a place called um Dominica, and then I got friendly with the girls. You get friendly with the girls. Miss Cook, from Cook Islands and, different areas, Miss Spain, Miss Zaire, they placed. Um, I don't know where Miss Puerto Rico came out and won. Trust me, I didn't see her as the winner, but that's who won. Okay, whatever. I thought Miss Spain could have won, and also Miss Zaire, beautiful girl, tall, slim girl. But anyway, so we
Did you
all
feel
had
intimidated? Did you feel intimidated going to Miami, representing Dominica, this dot of a country in the world, not the same resources as countries like Puerto Rico? These countries are like absolute legends when it comes to pageants. They give everything. It's a national movement.
oh
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Did you feel any sort of intimidation walking into that?
I didn't because there were little island people there as well. And Miss
Right.
Zaire, she wasn't a beauty queen. She was just, some people that they're attractive, but they're just not, they don't shine out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was to me, it looked like more. Of course, you feel like maybe I can win because 1 year Trinidad won and 1 year just so and so won. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll want a little island. So yeah,
Yes.
I felt like a little fish. It's okay, but you hope it's a competition again, and you try your best.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the interviews. All of us, 79 of us, we all had to perform in our swimsuit. We all had to do our evening wear. We did everything on different nights, and then
Yes.
on the actual night they pull out.
Mm-hmm.
What was great, we did filming with the swimsuit section. We had to go and film, and they had somebody made us up. Somebody did our hair. The lady didn't know how to do my hair, curly hair. The lady had my hair all over the place. But anyway, I did my best. I had, so you were in like a film, so to speak.
Mm. Yes.
And
It's very, very produced. So there are
oh yes,
preliminary sections
oh
of the
yes, lots
universe
all through
pageant.
the week, all
Yes,
through the week, all through
yes.
the week.
Oh,
And
nobody else ever went to Miss Universe
no, not
since
as yet,
time.
not to this date.
No, never. Um,
Mhm.
how do you reconcile that? How does that make you feel? Like, do you feel extra special? Like, how do you reconcile that?
It makes me feel proud,
Hmm.
definitely. To be the only Miss Dominica to represent in the Miss Universe pageant.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a big deal.
It's a huge
It's a big
deal.
deal. Although they don't, Dominica obviously doesn't see it as that because they've never recognized it. I mean, I hear it from people, but I don't hear it from the cultural department. I mean,
I
I'm
hear
I'm
you.
I'm going to be 62, 40 years, almost 41 years after, and they've never mentioned anything again about it. So I mean,
That's
but that's a
crazy.
big deal. I feel good that I was able
That
to
is
represent my
huge.
country.
Huge.
Yeah.
Do your kids, your grandkids, like, do they know? Do they like
Those
how
children busy playing Roblox. You
when
think
they
those
see the
children care
pictures of
about
when they see the
those
pictures though?
children don't
That's
care about
grandma right there.
that's grandma. But I mean, yeah, but no, they don't. They're too young still.
I know. I
They
know.
and they turn all into their video games and stuff. They're too young. My children know that.
Yes.
Um, so because they would get, hey, they're your Margaret-Rose daughter. eh."
Right,
But
right, right.
I don't hear much of it.
Yeah.
I don't hear much of it. But to me, it's something to be honored
Hmm.
about. It's not a chip on my shoulder to think I'm better than anybody, of
Hmm.
course, but it just happened like that, that they never sent anyone else again. And I don't know why. They could have, but I don't know what the dynamics are of participating as well,
Yeah.
in the competition.
The
Mhm.
criteria are much stiffer, and right now, from my knowledge, it almost happens like a franchising. So there is a Miss Universe Jamaica, a Miss Universe organization in all of these various
Oh,
countries.
really? Mhm.
Yes, and it costs quite a bit. So, for example, in 2006, I was living in Antigua, and I I was part of the team training Miss Universe Antigua and Barbuda.
Oh,
I was recruited to do that. And from my knowledge, at that time in 2006, it was costing the government of Antigua about $100,000 for Miss
whoa,
to participate.
whoa,
Yes, yes. So it's a
wow.
pretty penny.
So
It's
maybe Miss World is cheaper. Maybe that's why they do Miss World. They've done several Miss Worlds. Um, what's her name?
Miss Lassa was the
Les
last
Lasser did Miss World, and
correct.
the young lady from Grand Bay many years ago. She went. What's her name? Anthea. Anthea. I can't remember her name, but she went to Miss World. I believe she was the first one to go to Miss World. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
very interesting. So as we are coming to the end of this conversation, there are a couple of things I want to pull out.
Hmm.
Um, what is your take on um, Miss Dominica competitions then and Miss Dominica competitions now? Is there any thing that you think has evolved for the better? Anything that you think should be changed back? Like, tell me how you compare the two, if you have any thoughts on that.
Well, honestly, I don't watch the competitions anymore.
Right.
I'm not. No, those things don't attract me anymore. I mean, I might see the girls,
Hmm.
because you don't have no choice if you're on Facebook or whatever. You see the girls, and I think of my time, and
Yes.
but those things don't. I can't see myself doing that now, or I mean, if you want to, you can. But the way the Lord has taken me, I'm on
Hmm.
a whole different level, or uh, different road right now. I will
Yeah.
pray for them more or less, but I don't I see it differently now with a different pair of eyes. Okay,
Mm. Hmm.
but I mean. I mean the level is the way these queen shows are, it's a whole different, it's different. It's because of the way the world has gone. I mean, look at the carnival costumes now. I
Hmm.
mean, I thought I was naked in my pum pum shorts, and when I see G string and no string and all kind of a business, a string and feathers, I'm
I
like,
know.
what? And I thought it was bad. So I mean, it's right where it the people that it attracts, that type of show,
Hmm.
it's right where they that crowd wants it to be. I
Yes.
find the dresses are getting a bit naked. The dresses are getting a bit like they're taking away too much from the
Mm.
dress. The
Mm.
swimsuit already is so revealing.
So
Why do
revealing.
the dresses have to be so naked? I
Yeah.
mean, the dresses are a work of art in
Yes.
itself.
Yes.
So you can complement the body with a beautiful evening gowns. I love evening gowns. I love to
Mhm.
dress. I love beautiful things.
Yes.
But I believe that they're taking away too much from the dress. So that part I believe is going a bit too far, and it's
Hmm.
also setting the tone for the young children. Come
Hmm.
on,
Hmm.
to them to respect their body and to know what class is. You don't have to be naked to be classy. You can be fully dressed and still be classy.
Hmm.
So that
Absolutely.
part I believe that really needs to be pulled back, because at the end of the day we have to realize that we are the elders, and we are the ones that are bringing in the next generation, so we have to usher them in, and to be respectful. Respect is going out the door, even with the music and the songs, that the lyrics of the songs. I mean, the beat is nice, I like the beat, but the lyrics, my God, and the little children
Yeah.
that are repeating that. It's like, where is respect? And then you want to cry when things happen. Oh, please pray for me. Look at what happened. Look at what happened to my. But we are responsible to usher in. So there's nothing wrong, I guess, in the competition, so to speak. But let it be respectful. Talent. I
Hmm.
mean, amazing. Swimwear, that's another long story with everything outside now. Okay. Costume, amazing, because you're talking about art.
Mhm.
At least make the evening dress elegant.
Yes.
Naked is not elegant.
Mhm.
Naked is not elegant. And of course
The question and
you
answer.
have the question and answer.
Mhm.
And then yes, I did win Miss Caribbean Sunrise in St. Croix in 1985, just to let you know.
You did
Um
win that crown.
Miss Caribbean Sunrise in St. Croix in 1985. I think you froze, Kamala. I think Kamala, you froze. You froze.
Yes, I realized there was a freezing going on. So you did win that crown in
Oh
1985.
yes, yes, yes. Raymond Lawrence helped me put together this whole to help coach me. They made it wasn't a big costume they had. They had like a mini smaller costume and I was a larger bless.
Mm.
And I believe he designed it. Maybe did Alwyn Bully ever handed it? I'm not sure. He designed it, and when I went to St. Croix, Rose Keynes, La Roque, but Rose Keynes, because they lived in St. Croix, she took care. She was my chaperone in St. Croix, and I knocked that out of the park. So that was a good win. I said, okay, great. At least I win one Caribbean competition. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yes.
So that
Yes,
was
for sure.
good. That was good. That was good. And yeah, I think I mentioned all the shows here that I wanted to mention. Yeah, so that was good.
Here's my final question to you, Margaret Rose.
Mhm.
What does this Margaret Rose say to Miss Dominica 1985 Margaret Rose?
What does this Margaret-Rose say to Miss Dominica 1985?
Say to her. What would you say to her?
That is a serious question. Oh my God, Kamala, is that a trick question? What would I say
To
to
that
to,
girl,
to
that girl who was Miss Dominica 1985. That other girl.
that other girl? It's the same me, you know. Do you know
I know.
a very good friend of
No.
mine told me, a guy, this guy told me, he said, you know what, Margaret-Rose? And he's a guy that I used to drink with and party with and everything. Not a boyfriend, just a party, friend. He
Friend, yeah.
said, you know what? You have become the better version of yourself.
Mm.
That's what he told me. You have become the better version of yourself. What would I have told? What would I tell her right now? I wouldn't
Yes.
tell her anything. Live
No.
your life. I'll just pray for her silently. That's all. And look at how she came out.
Yes.
Beautiful from the inside out. And the ministry is either you in or it's either you out. In or out.
It's you can't be straddling the fence.
You can't be straddling the fence. You have to make a decision.
Yes.
I would tell her, bye, 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 bye to the old me.
Mhm.
Look at me now. And then in or out, what I thought of WCK. Either you in, either
I
you out. There you go. You remember that song? Either you in or either you out. Make up your
Yes.
mind. Well, Margaret
Yeah.
Rose made up her mind, and it's the best thing I ever did in my life. Amen.
Wow. Amen. Amen. What a pleasure. What a story. I am completely honored to have brought you out on the first podcast. I love
Yes.
that. And I wanted to thank everyone for joining us on this edition of Crown to Crown. I am Kamala Aaron, Miss Dominica 1998, talking with the only Miss Dominica to have gone to Miss Universe, Miss Dominica 1985, Margaret-Rose Cools-Lartigue. What a pleasure.
But
Thank
thank
you.
you so much, Kamala, for having me. It was an honor too to share my experience. You brought me back 40 something for about 41 years. Good experience. That's what shaped me into who I am today. So thank you so much and God bless you. Love you.
Love you. God bless you right back. Thank you so much.
One